I'm finally getting my grill fixed. Hey guys, this is Megan. Welcome back to the big comfy couch. Today we're gonna go ahead and talk about braces and Damon braces in particular, which is the type of braces I currently have. So if you are someone who is looking to get braces in the near future or just doing research into what type of braces you would like, then you've hit the perfect spot because I'm going to talk about all of the different types of braces. First of all, my experience so far that I've had with my Damon braces. So if you are interested in listening to that, then keep on watching. As everyone probably knows, there are 3 different types of braces available. There's traditional braces, there's Invisalign, and then there's also Damon braces. Now, as I mentioned a little bit ago, I have the Damon braces, and I don't want to get too close because I don't want you guys to see any leftover food in there. But if you could notice here, the Damon braces, the brackets are a little bit smaller than a traditional bracket. And that's what I really like most about them, because it doesn't take as much surface area, if you will, on your tooth. So I think it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing. I'm about a year into having these braces. It's gonna be a year in like 2-3 weeks. Actually a little less than 3 weeks, yes. So far I haven't needed to get any bands or anything. I'm pretty sure you don't need them for Damon braces because they are self-ligating or ligating pretty much. Otherwise there's the braces itself, the brackets like keep the wire in, and that's really the main difference between traditional braces and these types of braces, is that with traditional braces the wire is held together with the elastic bands, and the Damon braces use like little doors to kind of keep the wire in. I know I did take a picture of my teeth with the doors open. If I find it, I'll go ahead and insert it here in the video. But it's pretty cool looking because it's like each bracket is individual little doors that open to let the wire out so they can change it. I know for traditional braces, sometimes the bands could kind of get uncomfortable, like stuff gets stuck in them. Stuff is gonna get stuck in your braces no matter which type you choose, probably, unless you decide to get Invisalign, in which you could take the trays out to eat, which is the best part about it. So I feel like one thing to compare, if you want less maintenance in your braces choice, then I would go with these. But just to note, these ones are gonna be a little bit more expensive. I'm not sure how much. I would just ask. It may not be too much of a difference. There is Invisalign, and of course the Invisalign are individual trays that get molded to your mouth in different steps. I'm not sure. I think it's about 12 times you have to get your trays redone each time to get the teeth to start straightening up a little bit, little by little, as time goes on. And I think that's really cool because I love the fact that you don't have to worry about like metal or anything like having friction up against like your cheek and your gums and whatnot. But I feel like for me with Invisalign, I'm a person who sucks at doing things on routine. So if I were to have Invisalign right now, I guarantee you there'd be nights where I would just fall asleep without them being in there. I would go hours without putting them back in after eating or something like that. So I automatically knew those weren't gonna be an option for me. And this might be kind of weird, but I just wanted the experience of having like the metal braces. Like, it's really weird. I don't think that's something someone aspires to, but I've been wanting braces since I was pretty young. My teeth really weren't that bad off. I just had like a little bit of crowding in this area right here, and I had like a baby tooth in the back of this incisor tooth right here. So I had like the double tooth. I'm not sure if people call it that, but that's what I call it. So it made it to where this tooth was protruding out. And as I got that tooth removed, I think just because of the bone not being there anymore, or the actual tooth, it kind of pushed back a little, but not a lot. I feel like that was never really straight. And also this tooth right here, this was the main reason as I got to be an adult why I wanted braces, is because this tooth right here was set back out of alignment with the rest of this top row of teeth. So whenever I would smile, depending on the angle, sometimes it would look like I didn't even have a tooth. So it just really bothered me. I know when it's yourself, you notice things a lot more than other people, but I just couldn't stand it. And it just needs to be fixed. I see that it's definitely changing. Hopefully over the course of the treatment, it's gonna come out even more, because I feel like it could be in better alignment. It's still a little too far back. Yeah, that's my main reason for deciding to get braces in the first place. If I have pictures of what my smile looked like before, or my teeth looked like before, I'll go ahead and insert a picture of that. It might be hard to find because I'm not really much of a smiling person, not because of my teeth, just because I don't like the way that I smile. Like, I feel like my face with my cheeks being kind of chubby and whatnot, it just looks weird to me. But if I find one, I'll put it in there. So yeah, back to what I was saying about Invisalign. I think it's really cool if you're a person that like is on top of everything, like you know you're gonna put your trays in there when they need to be, then I definitely think it's a good option, because nobody will even notice that they're on. So I think that's the main point about Invisalign, is the fact that they go in and out and they're clear. So if that's something that's most important to you, I would look into that as well. Again, it's going to be way more than what traditional braces are, but it's always nice to just kind of compare and look into all of that before you go to your ortho. So I would definitely urge you guys, if you're looking into getting braces anytime soon, to just do your research to really see the benefits and what like the cons would be into getting each type of braces or treatment. Because like I said, when I knew in the beginning that, and I looked into it, but I pretty much ruled out Invisalign because I just wanted to have like that feeling of the metal braces. But some people might not like the fact that there's metal in your mouth. And that's a legit reason to not want them. So do your research and make sure the option you pick is gonna work with your lifestyle. Because with the traditional braces, it's gonna be a lot of going back and forth, getting elastic and whatnot. And even probably for here with COVID, I've missed a couple of appointments due to the ortho being closed for a while. So I'm probably technically behind in my treatment, but it's all good. My work insurance got this. But no, definitely just look into which ones are best suited for you. Another good thing also to look into is also the ortho or orthodontist you're gonna go ahead and take care of your treatment, because that's important too. Because you don't want to go to a low-rated ortho and they don't even place your brackets right, and they don't give you the best course over your treatment, and it takes double the time that it normally took if you went to a reputable orthodontist. So that's important as well to do, because you could have the braces all you want, but if the ortho doesn't put them in correctly or they mess up on something, it could take a lot longer for your treatment to be complete. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about what you should expect once you get to the orthodontist after you've done your research and you're now ready to move forward with getting the braces. So it may be different. It's not gonna always be the exact same no matter where you go. Each ortho is going to have a different process probably, but the number one thing is going to happen when you first get there is they're going to take x-rays of your mouth, because they're going to want to see like how the alignment of your teeth are, like beneath what we see on the exterior. They want to see like where your bones are sitting. They do that because they're going to need to see like how is everything aligned in there, like how are the bones sitting, like how are your teeth aligned underneath, because they're going to need to decide what course of action to take to be able to correct to reach the main goal, which is getting your teeth straightened. And also they'll probably give you like an estimate on how long it's going to take. So when you get there, they're first going to do that. They're going to take pictures with the machine, you know, and stand up. They had me stand up against the wall. They make you do that so they could have it on record. They'll do that for an ortho too. What they did next was the ortho kind of met with me to see what my concerns were, to see what my goal was to try to achieve. And I pretty much just told him at the time, well, actually a new ortho came into the company, I should say. So what I did with him was and the assistant as well, pretty much told them that I just wanted this corrected. If we could have this tooth pull forward, just have overall better alignment, maybe correct my overbite. That's pretty much all I personally feel like I need done. And I told them anything else that they see, they could feel free to correct also. So they do that, and they also will go over the different options if you're not already aware. And that's the point where you can kind of ask them questions about what they feel is best for you. Now for me personally, this is was kind of wrong on my part, and I should have asked more questions, but I was kind of like, cool, okay. And I was ready to go. At that point, I didn't even know that they were gonna do them that day, but I just sat back and they started we didn't do a discussion of what type of braces to do. Like, they just gave me the Damons, and I'm so glad, because that's the type that I was looking into to begin with. And they also, before they're actually going to start adhering the braces to your teeth, I missed a step there. They're going to discuss payment, like payment plans, like if you're going to pay out of pocket, insurance, things like that. And you'll go ahead and make your payment. I made my payment before they started. I have a payment plan, I should say. They told me what my insurance was gonna cover, and I just decided to get on the payment plan. They told me how that was gonna go, and I just put my card on there, so they just draft it out once a month. But look into different options to see if they can work with you if you are wanting some different payment options. So I would advise of doing that also. Okay, so after you've agreed on everything, you got your payment plan done, and you've decided on the type of braces, you've consulted with your I can never say ortho. After you've done all that, then they're gonna go ahead and start the process of getting the braces placed onto your teeth. First, they're gonna go ahead and prep your teeth. Like, I forgot what they do in particular. I think they do some kind of brush thing, and I think that's probably just to get like surface stuff off of your teeth so that the bond can adhere to your teeth as best as it can. So they do that first, and then of course one by one they're going to adhere each bracket to the teeth, which actually doesn't take as long as you think. I think for me, it probably took, about 45 minutes if I had to guess? 30 to 45 minutes. So they're pretty quick with it. And yes, one thing that I remember not liking is there's this light that they have to use to bond the bracket to your teeth, like for it to seal, and it gets kind of warm, and I'm like, oh, I cannot stand that feeling. It just makes you feel like your tooth is on fire. I don't know. I feel like on my subsequent visits, I've gotten used to it, because I'll go more into it later, but I have popped brackets, so it's, I can't stand that feeling, but it's a little bit better now, but I still can't stand it. So yeah, they're gonna do that. They have to do it to each individual tooth. Now, I can only speak for Damon braces. I'm not sure what the process is for the other methods. Of course, since I never had them. So for Damon braces, after they get everything adhered, they'll put in the wire. Now, here's where it might get a little bit different depending on your case. For me, initially, they put these little blue pieces of plastic in the back of my two front teeth here at the top. I think they're called bite guards. They refer to them at my ortho as bite turbos. I think they're interchangeable, but it's pretty much little pieces of plastic that kind of help for you when you bite down, for your tooth not to bump into the bracket and for it to pop off. But one of mine fell off as soon as I left the office, so that didn't last too long. And I had the one hanging on for what, about like a couple months, I want to say, and it was so annoying. I'll get into the experience after they're fully on a little bit later, but depending on what they might need to happen and what the best thing is for you, they may put those on. They may need to do something else that I didn't get, so they'll communicate that with you, so just be aware of that. And yeah, they clamp the wire in the back. They pretty much just cut the wire that pokes out through the edge of each bracket in the back, and to where it doesn't poke you as badly. And that's pretty much it for the actual application of the braces. Okay, so after they got done applying the braces, what they did was they kind of advised me of the do's and don'ts while having braces. You know, don't eat crunchy or hard foods, anything sticky and whatnot, which I guess we technically shouldn't be doing a lot of anyway, but with braces, you really don't want to be doing that. But I still did. Shh. But yeah, they kind of show you how to do like the floss and whatnot. They also give you a little packet of like, I don't want to say tools, but I guess kind of tools they give, like the dentist normally does, at least mine, like a little toothbrush, toothpaste, like the floss. Man, I forgot the type of special floss that you have to use, but it has the little metal end so that you can weave it through the brackets, because you have to do, I forget the name of it, but if I find out the name, I'll put it down below, which shouldn't be that hard. And also the wax, because for at least Damon braces, they give you like a special little wax. So if a bracket is aggravating you in a certain area, like it's irritating like the inside of your cheek, they give you like a little clear wax to put on top of the bracket, and it kind of helps soothe the friction that's happening and the irritation with that particular area. And it really helps. Thankfully, I haven't had to use too much. I've maybe at the beginning had to probably use maybe like 3 or 4 times, which is not bad at all. And is that everything? Yeah, that's pretty much all they advise you about. And when that's all completed, you should be good to go. Now I'm going to talk about my experience with them so far and what you could expect once they are nice and applied to your teeth. So the first 24 hours are going to be hell. There's no other way to put it. It's not that bad, but it's going to be quite an adjustment, because when I first got these onto my teeth, I could not eat at all. And you immediately feel the pressure. Well, once they're set and probably like on your way home, because that's how it happened for me, you start feeling like the pressure. The pressure will definitely be felt at some point. But yeah, and also like I was mentioning, to eat, it's so funny because my first night, I'm glad I didn't have to be around anybody, because I could not chew like a normal person at all. I wanted to follow the rules at that point, and at that point my teeth really were hurting, so I didn't want anything like overly complicated. Like, you are not going to be able to bite into a burger on your first day of having braces, probably almost even your first week of braces. So just be prepared for that. So I decided just to get something quick. I went to like McDonald's and got like some fries, and to bite into one fry literally took me 5 minutes to chew one fry. And I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, I didn't know it got this bad, is what I was thinking. And after it was all said and done, it probably took me an hour to eat those fries. And I just couldn't believe it. When you first get them, you're like, I'm not gonna be able to eat. It's not possible. So be prepared for that, because it's gonna happen. For some people, the level of pain and discomfort might be different. Some people might be, oh, it's not that bad, but it does feel uncomfortable. And some people might be on the verge of pretty much crying. It hurts so bad. But for me, I definitely wasn't crying, but I was kind of like, oh my goodness, like what did I get myself into? I will not be able to do anything. But as time goes on, it does get better, of course. But yeah, that first night was, it was hilarious. In my other experience, for me, I got, for some reason, I didn't get a headache my first day. My headache started like 2 or 3 days later is when the headache started for me. Because you're gonna get headaches because things are moving down there. As soon as they get them, like your teeth are like, what is going on? And things are like, and I mean, you feel that pressure for a long time. It took me 2 weeks personally for me to feel like I was well adjusted. Still wasn't 100% comfortable with eating, but just like pressure wise, I wasn't getting like any headaches or anything like that. And another stupid, I don't want to say that it's stupid, I think it was good timing because I was off from work that entire time, but I got my braces the day before my birthday. And I don't know if I would recommend that, because if you're gonna be like going to a dinner or something, it's just not gonna be a good look. Because I went out to a lunch and I could barely like chew. Like I had to cover my mouth to chew just in case like food would fly out of my mouth or I would drool. Like I just had no control over it. So think about the timing as well, because if you have like a trip or you're going back to school or something, I would give it a little bit of time before that, because you don't want to be experiencing like discomfort while you're supposed to be enjoying like something in particular. But for me, at that point, I was gonna be off from work for like 2 weeks, so it worked out perfectly. I didn't have to talk weird while I was at work, and that leads into the other thing that's gonna happen. You are gonna talk a little bit differently for a while. I did have a lisp. I did definitely have a lisp, so that will happen to you. I almost guarantee it. With that, the lisp, the headaches, and you not being able to eat for like the first week or so, those are the 3 things that's most definitely gonna happen to you. If it doesn't, come back to this video and let me know, because I want to see who this special person is. But yeah, it's a doozy your first couple weeks there. All right, so after you've had them in for a couple weeks, it pretty much is, you know, business as usual at that point. At this point is where I kind of started ignoring what they told me about eating food, because it was the holidays still, so I was eating candy, I was eating chips, chicken on the bone. So you don't want to do any of that if you really want to care about like not popping a bracket. Like I feel like at this point, I think I've popped 3 brackets. And I had to, and that's probably gonna affect my treatment personally, and it will yours, because it all kind of works in conjunction with each other. So if you really want to care about your braces, just pay attention. One thing that I learned, actually I want to forward that on to you guys, is that for the first like 24 hours of them bonding everything, just keep it to soft food, because that's when the bond is most vulnerable and it's still kind of getting affixed to your teeth. So if you want to sneak in a couple chips there, or like a Jolly Rancher, you could do it like maybe after your first week. Just don't do it a lot, because I still do it, but I just don't do it as often anymore, because I'm at that point I just started to feel like an embarrassment because I was popping so many brackets. Now that I've spoken about the what not to eat thing, sometimes these things they have a mind of its own. When I talk, like, I'm not sure if people are familiar with gleeking, but when I talk, I gleek so much. Like, I don't know how to describe gleeking. Is when saliva like involuntarily just splashes out of your mouth or spurts out of your mouth. It's kind of gross. But that happens a lot. I don't know if it's because I just don't know how to talk. It may not happen to you. This is just my experience. Sometimes you'll find food in there, especially like if you eat eggs or lettuce. You thought you brushed well enough, first brush of the day from yesterday, and you still find like a piece of lettuce or spinach or like a little chunk of egg. It's just, you're just gonna be like, wow, that was just chilling the whole time when I thought I brushed my teeth. Yeah. I did have a time where a bracket popped off. It was one of these middle teeth here, because the other two, they were back teeth. So I was able to just slide the bracket off. But this time, my third one that popped off, it was this one right here. Or was it? No, it was this one, whichever side. So I literally had to Google how to open the door to the bracket to get it off, because I couldn't have just a dangly piece of metal just chilling there until my appointment was like 2 weeks later. So I was like, absolutely not. We are gonna decide how to get this off. And I took like a hair clip, like the ones here, and it's kind of gross, but I kind of rinsed it off, but I had to like twist it open. You have to like just make it work sometimes, I'm telling you, but it's all worth it in the end. But after all that's said and done, I think overall, I think I'm pretty happy with my decision to go with these. I feel like my teeth are kind of straightening out nicely. I feel like the course of me seeing the movement was pretty fast. When I had my last ortho appointment, they said that it's not progressing enough as it should, but like I had to remind them I did have to miss like a couple of appointments, so that's why Corona had to mess my grill up. But it's okay, I don't mind keeping them longer. I'm willing to do what it takes to get my teeth aligned correctly. And I believe on the last visit as well, they had to go to thicker wire. So I think they said I went from a 14 gauge wire to an 18 gauge. So that might kind of help accelerate the movement a little bit faster. And I think that's kind of how it goes. So I would say all in all, my experience has been pretty positive with these. The things I mentioned before, of course, there are cons, but I feel like that's not for this particular type of braces. That's no matter what type of braces you decide to go with. But I like the movement and the time frame it did to get to this point. Because like I said, I'm a year out almost, and my teeth look pretty good. I probably just need some fine tuning and to probably get my overbite corrected a little bit more. But I highly suggest that you just go with it. Don't second guess it anymore. If you can do it, go for it. When I did my research on the different types of braces, I saw that there's adults out there that kind of feel embarrassed to have them. And I'm like, no, don't feel embarrassed. You're taking care of yourself and you're wanting to correct something. You don't have to be a teenager or 8 years old to get braces. I don't know if I would have wanted these as a child, because I don't feel like I would have been as responsible with them, even though I haven't been the best as an adult. So what am I even saying? But I think you guys get the gist. Don't be afraid of your age in getting braces. In fact, when I went to my ortho, the assistant had braces herself. So it's definitely not anything to be ashamed of. Go for it. Your smile is worth it, and you're gonna feel so much more confident in doing so. So if you ask me, I think you should get them. All right, y'all. Well, that's pretty much all I have with my experience with braces so far. And of course, I'm gonna let you guys in on updates as I get them. And eventually, whenever I get these babies off, I actually feel like I'm going to miss them. A year of having something like on your teeth, I feel like it's just gonna be so strange. Like, these are pretty much one with me now, but I will update you guys with how everything is going along the way. So keep an eye out for that. And let me know down below if you have braces right now or if you plan on getting them, because I would really want to know how it's working out for you so far and what your experience has been. And also if you have something different, if you have traditional or if you have Invisalign, and also if you have Damon, because I want to know if your experience has been similar to mine. That would be kind of cool, because if mine was horrible and yours was like no issue at all, like, I want to know something. So yeah, feel free to let me know down below how it's going for you guys, and just comment if you have any other questions about my experience or what to expect. And I want to thank you guys for watching this video today. I hope it was informative. I want to pass the information along out there, because I know for me, there was nobody in my family who had braces, and I had no one to turn to with what to expect. I hope I was that person for you. And yeah, thank you once again. And of course, if you want to follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, you can do so at Megan Victor, MEGHANVICTOR. You can also like and subscribe this video. Give me a thumbs up if you thought this was informative and helpful. I would really appreciate that, and that'll let me know if you want to hear updates about how it's going in the future, and if you want me to do other videos, that would be amazing. And as always, I appreciate you guys always and forever, and the time it takes for you to just click on this video and watch it. It just means so much to me. I love you guys so much, because you could have literally picked any other type of braces video to watch, but you decided on this one, and I love you for that so much, and I'm grateful. So with that, I will see you guys next time. Bye.